Hello and welcome to today's video. It's a post-match review of England-Croatia. I'm not going to dig too deep into it. I'm going to look at how I think players did, who I think did well, who did poorly, who I think will get changed out for the next game, a quick look at the next game against Scotland, and a quick recap of what I thought the side would be, or what I thought Gareth would pick, and how that compares to what the actual lineup was. As you can see, the lineup was Pickford in goal, Walker at right back, Stones and Mings centre halves, with Trippier at left back, which was interesting. We'll come on to that. Rice and Phillips in the middle with Mount in front of them, and Foden and Sterling as the wide players. Not many people thought Sterling would get in the squad, and Kane up front. So first of all, I thought that these were the predictions. These are the teams I wanted to go with. I was fairly sure Henderson wasn't going to get picked. James at right back, Shaw at left back, Stones and Maguire, although I did say I believe if Maguire's not fit it will be Mings just because he's left footed. Phillips and Rice in the middle, Foden, Mount, Grealish, Kane. I was a bit optimistic on the Grealish one. Southgate's 11 I thought he'd pick. I thought he'd go with Shaw and James as the wing backs, Stones and Maguire again if he was fit. I knew he'd pick Pickford. I think Phillips and Rice picked themselves along with Mount and Kane, and then I thought he'd go with Sancho and Rashford, but obviously Sancho didn't even make the bench. So I was a bit shocked at that. So let's look into this a little bit more then. We've got Pickford starting in goal. He didn't have to do much all game. He raced out to clear a header that was pretty poor from Trippier, who we'll get onto in a minute. And he had a little bit of a mix-up with Walker when there was a cross, but other than that he did fairly solid. I think Walker had a not a dreadful game. He had a bad game. A lot of errors in there. I saw him do some crosses that were shocking, just went flying over and out for goal kicks. I think he'll be swapped out in the next game. I should do. We've got about 400 right backs, so changing him out should be one of the first things we do. Stones had to be that leader in that back line. I think Mings next to him's not very experienced at international level. He was fairly solid, John Stones. Mings, after he had a couple of ropey warm-up games, he a little bit nervy in those. He got in some vital tackles on the likes of Perisic, some big wins. He was looking to just go long all the time though, which I'm not sure I was a fan of. But it was definitely a better display than the warm-up games he played in. Trippier at left back, I didn't like that either. He was constantly looking to come inside on his right foot. He almost caught us out, obviously, with that bad back pass or header to Pickford. Didn't offer much in way of attacking again. A right footer trying to overlap on the left side's difficult. Rice was just the anchor of the midfield. He was solid. He was just there. He kept Modric fairly quiet all game. It was a big step up for him playing against the likes of Modric. I think he proved that he deserves to be there. Phillips, arguably the man of the match, or definitely my man of the match. He showed that he's got a little bit more to his game than just playing as a deep midfielder. He nearly scored the cracking volley on the edge of the box. Then he made a great run and pass for Sterling's opener. Yeah, solid game all round for Phillips. Phil Foden then, he nearly scored very early on. That was probably the best bit of his game, the first 5 minutes when he hit the post. But I don't think you could drop him on that performance. Maybe they will. He obviously brought him on for Rashford on for him in the final 20 minutes. But yeah, I think he had a decent game. I don't think you can ask too much more of Foden for today's game. Mount just again had a blinding game. He drifted a lot more left, which he almost set Kane up from. He spent a lot more time out on that left wing than I thought he would. I thought he'd play a lot more through the middle. But I'm sure Kane loves having him around. He nearly set him up for a goal again. Sterling, no one really thought Sterling would get a start in this. He's had a bit of a poor end to the season, but Southgate obviously has gone with people he knows and trusts from England, and he repaid that trust today with the match-winning goal. So I don't think you can't drop the man after that, and I think he's proven why he is quite a valuable player to this squad, and why maybe I know a lot of people will say that Grealish should have started over him, but we've won a game 1-0. He scored, so Gareth was proved right on that one. Kane, after the first early 20 minutes, you didn't really see much of him for the rest of the first half. He did a bit more as a front man in the second half. Didn't really cause much of a threat though, so hopefully you get a little bit more from him in the next game. Coming forward then, I think that we'll look at the stats quickly for this game. You have got 52 to 48 ball possession. It was fairly even. 8 shots each. We only had 2 on target. They only had 1, so quite a game fought in the middle of the park. Really, not a lot of shots getting off. They got 3 yellow cards. We got 1. The same amount of corners, offsides. Toss of a coin game really, and we just happened to get the goal from Sterling in the 57th minute. Good to see 20,000 fans at Wembley. Obviously there was someone that fell early on. Hopefully he's okay. Fell from the stand. It's good news to hear about Ericsson as well. Just throw that in there quickly. Glad he's alright. Lineups for the Scotland game. I think he'll change out the fullbacks. Walker and Trippier, they've got to change. Maybe Foden will miss out for someone else coming in, but I don't know. The only 2 I would change would be Trippier and Walker for probably Shaw and James. I think we'll win that game against Scotland. It should be convincing 2-3-0 really. It is Scotland's World Cup final, so we do need to be up for that as well, otherwise we could get caught out. But yeah, hopefully that's it. I'll do a match preview on that in a couple of days. Thanks for watching this one, and it's coming home.